All right.
And I think that they had that hearing on MMTLP, and I kind of wish that I went, to be honest, and like asked to sit in
Yeah.
and just asked to speak and said, you can't, they shouldn't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. That saying comes from, you can't have a piece of cake and eat it and still have it, right?
Yeah.
You eat it or you don't.
Yeah.
So you either eat it and you have to give up the information because you're a government agency. So now you ate it. That's it.
Yeah.
You're a government agency. You get the immunity, you get the cloak. Now you give it up, or you have it and you don't give up your information, but you don't get to regulate everybody else in the market that you are participants in with millions and billions of dollars. Like, it just dumbfounded. That's what I am. I'm done.
So, coming up at the end of the month, so there's what's his name? Brazil, the guy in New York who is suing for the blue sheets, or he's filed a motion to receive the blue sheets, and they have a hearing coming up on the 30th, I believe. So he apparently has a conference with FINRA that could discuss this. The court ordered FINRA to appear, so they have to have a response in by, I think, the 26th, and that they appear on the 30th. My take is that FINRA doesn't want to give up blue sheets, and their argument is that there's privileged information, private information, whatever, contain those blue sheets. Do you have an opinion as to where that would go? Like what the court would possibly rule with that?
If there's privileged information, I would ask the judge to review it in camera, which means it's reviewed privately with the judge. Okay, it's reviewed in camera, and the judge is there. The financial expert can be there, and now it's and like anonymity of the investors is protected because it's reviewed by the judge in camera. That's what I would do, and I would say, you know what, Your Honor, fine, we can, but you can't say redact, right? And then it's like thousands of shares are shorted by redact. No, you know, that's just not going to provide anything. So I would say I'd like to review it. Either release it to me and I'll sign like an NDA or something before the court, or you can have the court can release it to you, just that you obviously can't disclose it or whatever, that it's private. That's fine. You don't have to necessarily sign an NDA, but you're under court order when the court orders them to release it to you, that it will be private and cannot be shared, or review it in camera in judges' chambers. And that means that, you know, you don't take it home, but you review it in camera. I would bring my financial expert there.
Okay. But if let's say the judge does say they're going to review it in camera, right? Would that benefit you in your argument to see the data? Would you be able to make that same argument? Say, hey, the New York, they just let them do this.
So in New York, it's state court. It's a little tricky because New York calls their state court the Supreme Court. But here's the thing. I think it would be immediately appealed because it's in a state court in New York, which is fine because the FINRA, I believe they're headquartered in New York. So they can be like, so state court is fine. They don't have the right to remove it to federal court for diversity, like for me, because I'm in Florida. But they can appeal it, and it would go to the appellate state court, which you'd now get stuck on a bit of a docket list. And
they would just draw it out.
But it's still, I just don't know if in New York, if that would put a halt before they have to comply with the order, or if they still have to comply with the order. I can cite it to my federal court, but it's not, my court is not bound by what the New York State Court does. That's the difference. Like, my court is bound by the Supreme Court. So as soon as I saw that, I said, I need to file an amended complaint. I amended it in an airport, right? And then I filed it on a plane. And that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. It was like 10 p.m. But I amended my complaint in an airport because I was like, this needs to go out. As soon as I saw that from the Supreme Court. My court is bound by the Supreme Court. They are not bound by other state courts, but they can consider them. They are not bound by other federal courts unless they're appellate federal courts, but they can consider them. So like that California, whatever, I didn't even read the order all the way, to be honest, because I've been so insanely busy. Today's the first day I've had to like clean my house in several weeks. So I've been really busy, but I didn't actually end up reading that order from the California court.
The Hoffman case, that one?
Yeah. But I will say that my court is not necessarily bound by it.
Okay.
Right? My judge can look to it, but he's not bound by it. It's not a court higher than him.
Yeah.
They don't have authority over his ruling. The Supreme Court does.
Yeah.
So that's why I made sure to include that.
Yeah. Cool.